also want to talk about, because I think it's kind of shifted the game. The industry is kind of theatrical release to streaming, and what streaming has done to the window of how long something will stay, and it's really kind of put pressure on the studios, because these streamers are expensive, and
They
now
are
they
very
need these
expensive.
movies to make money. So we have to focus on
Right.
IP that we own. We can't take these risks anymore with these indie films.
With it, that's right.
But you, sir, were in a movie this year that proved that a little bit different. You can
A
still
lot
tell a
different.
creative story that is
Right.
original, not based on a property, and make a profit if it's
Yes.
done well. So
If it's a
let's
good
dive
movie.
into it. Yeah, let's dive
If it's
into
a good
Sinners,
movie.
man. Talk about it. What
Sinners,
was that
man.
audition process like?
I was so lucky on that one. I actually got called. Megan Lewis did the casting here in New Orleans, and she called me for a table read. And she said, "We got a table read, and I want you to come down, and you'll be reading for this character called Delta Slim." Right.
Mhm.
So I got the script, and I was reading. I'm like, "Oh snap, this crazy as fuck!" Right. Wow. And that's how I was reading the script. Oh man. So when we did the table read, man, I met Ryan, I met Zenzi and Seb and all the good folks, man, from Proximity, and folks were on video and screaming. A lot of local actors were there. So it was a really good vibe in the room. Then I got the call that I had gotten the role for Patterson, who at that time was patron number one, the first guy who got served at the new Juke.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And to be there on that set to watch, dude, Ryan Coogler, Michael, Delroy Lindo, Wumi. I cannot even. I don't have the words, and I'm a rhetorician by nature. I love words, but this was a master's class for doctoral students. You
Oh
understand
yeah,
what
yeah.
this was a to see what he does. And when he was dealing with me, he said, "Listen," and he whispered, he said, "Listen, I want to see it this way." And he told me to come. And I know that was to see, he saw this movie in his head.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were saying, the original indie film that was just his idea, why it was shot on film, why all the things were done. Because as a movie lover, he saw this movie in his head. And what he tried to put on the screen at the final cut was as close to what he had imagined at the time. But that's why I got a chance to see him shoot it, try this way. And then when I saw the film, I saw that it didn't come out that way. It came out the other way, but you had to give it a try because he was seeing it in a different way. It was a master class, man. It was everybody. I had to shake Delroy Lindo's hand and tell him that West Indian Archie was one of my favorite characters ever
Yes.
in film, not just
Yes.
in Malcolm X, but in film. I loved West Indian Archie and his portrayal, and just to be on set with those guys, man, and I can't say enough, about Smoke and Stack. That was
Oh, what? Yeah, yeah.
and my man who played the double. Oh, bro, I'm sorry. I'm gonna pull you. But there was a double. They shot
Yeah.
it with two people, but he made the credits. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna put your name up on IMDb because my blade's blanking out on me. But to see the red and the blue suit changes, and to see both people standing there and doing this great job in building these characters, and then to see the one person at the film that both of those guys, I saw both sides, and my man was two different people when he played two different characters. He was he was a lot when he was Smoke. He was a lot more close to the vest.
Right, right.
He was a lot because Smoke was the more serious one.
Yeah.
And he was that guy doing that. Now when he was Stacked, hey baby, what's happening? He go around, and it was a different. You could see the difference in the characters, although you mentally knew it was the same guy. But I'm just telling you, man, you'd have me talking here till next week about what a blessing as far as an opportunity it was to be on that set with the director and with Autumn, who was the DP, who Just oh man, I'd be naming everybody, but I can tell you that it was such a phenomenal experience to be on that set and to watch what you see in the theaters, what has captured the imaginations of audiences globally, to be there when it was being spun, to be there when it was being put together. I incredible, pales in comparison to what it actually was, but as close as I can get to it,
Oh,
it was incredible.
oh,
No, most definitely. Yeah, it really was like an example of, showing that the entertainment industry and the movie industry doesn't need to be these quote unquote big superhero, big
Right,
blockbusters, big explosions. It showed that there still is a desire for a original story at the cinemas, because I think that's kind of where we're at now. You're seeing all of these beautiful stories get told, but not really make a lot of money. And then
yes.
when this film came out and did gangbusters as it did, I'm sure Warner Brothers was just like, "What the hell? We were not expecting that."
I don't
So
think anybody was, but
no,
it's
I
almost 400 million.
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
it's
Almost
so
400 million.
amazing. It really is. But I mean, yeah, just to be there and to be engulfed in the entire process, because I think this is the saving grace. This film is the saving grace of the theatrical experience,
I
because,
agree.
like I said, with certain things like video game adaptations, superheroes being like less and less of a draw, or at least more critically targeted, I
Yes,
do think these films, like Sinners, Ryan Coogler's masterpiece, is something that the community and just everybody in general has been thriving for. They've been
yes.
waiting for a film like this to come out. I think it was absolutely amazing. And to be able to be on a set with such amazing people, like you said, Delroy completely stole the show
Just
for
Oh,
Dustin and
totally.
myself.
Yeah,
Like we were
yeah.
saying, that's our favorite character of the
yeah, to
entire
see him.
thing.
He said, "Boy, I cut you thin enough to fry."
Oh,
Right.
look, and I don't know about your theater where you saw it at the premiere or whatever, but in my theater, every time he spoke, my crowd erupted. They were
Yes,
loving every second of him.
yes,
Like, yeah, and
yes,
I was
yes.
like, yeah.
Y'all smell anything?
you, you know, I love
That's a
though.
great line, man.
Oh, without doubt, without doubt. I love that you brought up that Ryan shot it on film. I love
Yes,
that you referenced that this is a storyteller. He
this
has
is
a
a
vision. He's
storyteller.
a storyteller. You look at that, you can go all the way back and look at that at Fruitvale Station and
Yes,
everything that he's done.
yes.
I remember an interview that Michael B did, and he said he was sold on. He wasn't too sure of Ryan at first, but he was sold on him after he met him at Starbucks and he
Uh-huh.
heard him tell the story. He's like, I know this story. I know what happens to this guy. I know because it's. But why should? And he said after Ryan told the vision, the
Yeah.
story. Here's how
Yes.
I want to sell it. Michael was all in, and
I'm
obviously
in.
that relationship has worked for all these
Oh yeah.
years
Oh yeah.
because they see it. But I think that that's what the key is to the success of this movie was you have to be a storyteller, you have to be a
Oh,
visionary. And thank
oh yeah.
God, like Logan said, for this film, because I think that these type films were destined to be greenlit for the streamers and never
That's
see the
right.
light of day in the theater. But
Never
this
see the
movie, like
theater.
Logan said, might have been the salvation for that. No, we
Oh
can
yeah.
still put these type movies on the big screen. Forget the streamer
That's
stuff.
right.
There is still a space for these stories to
That's
be
right.
told. Um
Asses
and
in
yeah,
seats, my friend. That's what they showed.
that's
We
right.
can make a film that puts asses in seats.
That's
And
right.
at the end of the day, Hollywood is much of the creative juices that we would love for it to be flowing through. There is a definite, very strong vein of economics
Yes.
that goes through this
Yes.
Oh,
thing, and
it's
that's what everything. That's the measure.
right.
That's the
Hmm.
measure.
Right.
And what he showed was a well thought out, well crafted, well put together, creative, original film can put asses in seats. Now,
Yes.
not just in America, but around the world.
That's right.
Hmm.
That's right.
But
It's
around
done
the
well.
world.
Yeah.
I think you made a very good point. I think there will be cinema pre-centers and cinema post-centers because I think you'll see
Agreed.
a lot more studios taking a chance on independence. Everybody's not going to hit a home run like centers, but if we get a bunch of triples, two or three doubles, and a single, maybe a bunt,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
do good because I'd rather those than just pumping them out, putting them on the stream, or
That's
pumping
right.
them out, and you get much ado about nothing. This
That's
was
right.
a great film, and I hope it sets a precedent and actually changes direction of what's going on and what gets green lighted by the major studios.